Greetings, it's Closet Nail Freak back again with another tutorial. That's my cat running in the background, and I'm going to show you how to create these fabulous Prince-inspired nails, actually inspired by the memorial tattoo that Sheila E. has on her forearm, you know, the butterfly and the love symbol. And I just think it's a beautiful tribute. It's been a hard April in remembrance of him, so here we go. I start, of course, with my gradient sponge, and that's a dark purple. I'm going to show you the exact color in the down bar, but you know, I love my gradients, so I'm going to start with the darker color that's going to go closer to the cuticle. And just to give you a little detail about how to do a gradient on the nail, I like to, especially with similar colors, with colors in the same spectrum, since this is going to be all purple, I'm starting with the darker at the bottom and then the lighter on top, just because that's the kind of effect I want. And even though it looks like I'm just slathering it on here, I am, but in the end it's not really a lot because it's a sponge, so it's going to absorb the polish and seep into the sponge, so when I press it on, it'll just slowly coat my nail. So I like to, just to get a good gradient effect, I'll layer the colors sort of into each other a little bit, as you can see, and start with my white base, and then I just slowly roll it on so I can get an even first coat, as you can see here, and then I tap, 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 tap to create the gradient effect. Now this is just the first coat, so it's not going to look exactly the way the end result will be, but that's how I start it. And then I do it again, and I do it again as many times as I can until it looks correct. There's really no formula that I use. I just keep doing these steps, repeating these steps until the nail looks the way that I want it to look. In the meantime, each layer is drying, and you want each layer to dry a little bit, somewhat, before you start the next one. And again, I know it looks like a lot of polish, but in the end it's really not. But I love the gradient effect because just one flat color just doesn't look right without a design or something going on. But you just keep brushing it on the sponge, because again, it's gonna seep into there, and as you roll it onto the nail, that's when the color is going to come out. So don't worry about it. You're not going to waste polish. It's going to look great. So don't even stress about it. And man, I was doing this for a long time. So I put the second and third coat on, and as you can see, I got a little mistake there. So you have to be careful when you're putting on your liquid nail tape. And when you put it on the nail by accident, this is what happens. So that's the darker color, so I just filled it in just a little bit and use my cleanup brush to sort of fade it out and get the sides looking right. Everything, well, almost everything, you'll find that as you get into nail art, almost everything could be corrected with either acetone or a nail art brush. So it's really not that big a deal. And is anybody going to be looking at your nails that hard? No. So don't even worry about it. Acetone, as you can see, cleans it up. No big deal. It's fine. The lighting. So yeah, I am a little anal when it comes to the cleanup part. But anyway, I'm doing my quadruple zero Wistonia brush, nail art brush, and I'm starting a love symbol. And I was really nervous about this because I wanted to get this right. I may not have used the ideal polish. I used my Color Club Memento Mori to do the black, and I've had a little while, so it was a little bit thick, but I didn't stress too much about it because that way I'd have a little more control and I didn't have to worry about it kind of not spilling but running. So this isn't going to be 100% clean, perfect, but the end result, you'll know what it is. So this is one of my first freehand tutorials, so bear with me. I was really nervous and I wanted to get this love symbol right. because I didn't want to be up all night trying to do this. So now, mind you, I have a quick dry top coat on in between designs. Once I get my polish laid out, I do the quick dry top coat before I put either a stamping design or a freehand design on top. So in between cuts here, I'm just looking back at a picture I have up on my iPad of the love symbol so I can get it right. And I'm trying here. It's a little fuzzy, not exactly the most clean. I'm sure if I used my Russian nail art brushes, it would look a little cleaner, but I'm using my regular old Wistonia brush, and it seems to be doing the job. This was sort of an experiment. I was reluctant to upload this, but here we are. I'm doing my best and trying to get as much detail as possible so it looks like the love symbol. And I think this purple gradient is just gorgeous underneath. Absolutely gorgeous, don't you? So here I am caught between trying to get the details and then trying to not put too much polish on. So to be safe, to get the top round part, as you can see, I'm just dotting the paint on instead of smearing it around, because I was afraid that I was really going to mess this part up. So I just keep dotting it and dotting it and dotting it until I make the circle at the top. And it's a little bit not quite a perfect circle, so I'm filling it in a little bit more now that I laid the foundation down for the top. And I'm so nervous, I'm shaking, and now I'm making it way bigger than it should be. But again, it's correctable. It's not the end of the world. I'm committed. I'm almost there now, so boom, just a little bit of that base color at the top, and there we are. So I got that out of the way. Now I'm going to start on the butterfly. A little bit easier. I'm a little less stressed, a little more relaxed. I'm used to having the brush in my hand now, so I'm just starting with the bottom curve. I'm not doing a whole butterfly, just sort of a cross section of the wing here, based on what I've seen other nail artists do, and I really like the effect, and I think the gradient will just really complement this look really well. So I just draw my sort of my curved lines here, and I'm doing pretty good. It's just slightly curved lines. I'm trying not to mess up again, but it's really hard to when it's just the somewhat curved lines and it's not too much detail. And this brush is a little thick. So the outer part of the wing, relatively easy. I just connect the dots, connect the curves, and paint the tip completely black. Might go over here a little bit on my cuticle, but that's fixable with a little acetone and a cleanup brush. But I want to get that all filled in and nice and uniform. And it's starting to look like a little something, but I want to get that corner there, so I'm using my detail brush to fill in the gaps. And there we are. It's a decent foundation. Again, top coat, quick dry, and I use my dotting tool to get the dots on the outer part of the wing. And there's no formula to this. I'm just going with what I feel and what I think looks good. Don't want to get the dots too close to each other, but it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because nothing in nature is. Every butterfly wing you see is completely different. So if they run into each other a little, it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, it's going to look good. People are going to be impressed, and it's a great effect. And I think butterfly wings are perfect for spring. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Very cool. There you have it. I made it through. Free-handed. Oh, and that's a water decal I made at home with my laser printer. And yeah, R.I.P. Prince. Little glitter, butterfly wings, and the love symbol. Gone but not forgotten. And these are gorgeous. Thanks so much for watching.